Okay, so let's look at these two angles of attack again. We'll go a little bit more deeper into it, building on what we've covered already. So I'm in mount, I'm not sitting on Matthew because I'm sitting on him and connected to them, and the minute I try to get into the collar he's lifting my hips or bumping me, so I just sit, so there's a slight space there. Take the slack out of the lapel, hand comes in, I've got connection, he goes for that swimming inside movement which we've already dealt with. We just go for the second one. His elbow's in line with my hip, I just put my hand on his elbow, connect it to my hip, and then I lift my knees off the mat, so I'm just using my weight, and then I re-grab to get that connection. So let's just say we're going to go for the underhand one. From that position, sometimes what I'll do is I'll open my elbow out to create the space, but now I've sort of taken his right hand out of the game. As my left comes through, Matthew's stopping it with his left hand. So now from there I drop my elbow down to trap his left arm underneath my elbow. And now from that position, I'm immediately coming over and making the overhand grip. Once I'm there, because that arm is the one that's on top, I'll be putting my head on the mat, looking away, lifting my hips so I'm not connected to them. And now we just have the finish. Okay, one more time on that. So I'm not sitting on him, I pull the lapel out, right hand comes in, Matthew goes for that first defense. If his elbow's in line with my hip, I smear it down, make my connection again, open my elbow, so I can move my elbow in two directions. I can move it up and I can move it down. We'll look at the moving down one first. So I lift my elbow up to create the space. Now it's a race. I can beat getting to the far collar on Matthew's right hand because it's a bit pinned here. But the second I come through, he can use his left hand to stop that. Now, if he doesn't come all the way through and he's smart, I'll go, and as he goes to defend it, I'll come back, and then as he tries to follow it, I'm going to clamp his hand to my body. Put all my weight on it, and now my left hand comes over. I want the fat part of my forearm on his jugular. I make the grips, put my head on the mat, because that's the arm that's on top. Look away, and now from there, curl the wrist. That's the underhand one. The overhand one, so I'm here. Matthew again defends, swims that hand inside. I remove that. This time when I'm going for the overhand one, just as I'm about to make the grip, his left hand controls my hand. So again, we used our elbow downwards last time to trap his hand. This time I'm going to use it upwards, so I just smear that up. And now from there I've created the space to come underneath. Now because my left hand is underneath to finish, I put my head on the other side, so my head comes on the side of the hand that's on top. I'm looking away, I don't want to be sitting on him, and now I just curl the wrists. One more time on that, take the slack out, we're in, smear that, and now as I start to come over, he's stopping me with that hand. I use my elbow to push that up, and now from there, hand comes under, head comes in the mat, and now I just curl. So it's just whatever reaction he makes to defend the underhand grip or the overhand grip, we're either pushing down with our elbow or lifting our elbow up to create the space to make the second grip.